Autism on the rise. The rising rate of autism, which many advocates are calling an epidemic, can be directly linked to earlier diagnosis, better screening tools, and increased public awareness. The number of children being diagnosed with autism seems to be growing at an alarming rate, with many advocacy groups calling it an epidemic. This presentation will show you what could be some of the reasons linked to the increase of children being diagnosed with autism. According to LUT 2006, one of the reasons could be early diagnosis. And I show it right here on this chart. Early diagnosis could be linked to the autism rates increase going up, which many call it an epidemic. Children in the autism spectrum are being identified at a younger age than before, with diagnosis being reliable and accurately made for children as young as 2 years old. Although there is no specific tool being used to diagnose autism, like a blood test, an MRI, a CT scan, or anything like that, we do have better screening tools than before, and that could be a reason for the autism rates going up. Tilton 2004 tells us that the diagnosis of all medical diseases and disorders in the United States is standardized through manuals that medical professionals have collaborated on to achieve uniformity. The DSM/IV, published by the American Psychiatry Association, is the manual used to diagnose autism spectrum disorders. This stands for the Diagnosis and Statistical Manual of Mental Disorders, 4th edition. In other words, whether a patient sees a physician in New York City or in Cleveland, Ohio, the same standards are applied to diagnose a particular disorder, which means a patient can be diagnosed with autism here in Texas, and that same patient will have the same screening tools to be diagnosed with autism anywhere else in the United States. Now, the third reason that could be linked to the increase of autism rates going up could be increased public awareness. Now, with Shaw 2010 tells us that increased public exposure to individuals with autism might play a role in the number of children being diagnosed with autism, as society is more attuned and aware of the characteristics of the disorder. Now, there are numerous books, and also the Center for Disease Control has launched several TV commercials indicating the early indicators of autism and any red flags for children with autism. So we see then TV commercials, books, and even movies are being created to actually increase their public awareness to this disease, which is autism. One of those movies is the movie Temple Grandin. Temple Grandin, the movie, is actually used to show the life of this person, which is a great person, which was diagnosed at an early age of 4 years old, and this movie depicts her life and her struggles with autism. So we see then increased public awareness to books, movies, TV commercials are being used to create more awareness on the public. So this could be actually a link on the autism rates going up. Now, as I stated before, the reasons for this matter increase could be earlier diagnosis, better screening tools, and increased public awareness. So these three could be linked to the autism rates going up, and that is probably why many advocacy groups are calling it an epidemic. So now that I show you that these three could be linked with the increase of autism, I will open this presentation for any question.
All right. I have a question. What is the prevalence of autism today?
Good question, yes. The prevalence for autism today, according to a 2006 report by the Center for Disease Control, which is the latest report that we have, tell us that the prevalence of autism today is 1 child in every 110 children. So 1 child in every 110 children are diagnosed with autism today.
All right. My second question is, could there be other factors involved in device of autism cases other than the ones we've mentioned?
Yes, there could be other factors, and one of them could be vaccinations, which is very debatable. But the evidence suggests, according to xvid 2003, that vaccinations are actually not a contributing factor for the cause of autism or the increase in the number of children being diagnosed with autism. Now, there is also the factor of genetics. Dawson, 2008, tells us that researchers have found that in 2 identical twins, if one of them has autism, the likelihood of the other twin having autism is 69 to 95%. Thank you.